Hey guys, today we are going to be looking at the new Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Battletrap. And obviously, he's from the new upcoming movie Transformers Rise of the Beast. And so yeah, he is gonna be like one of Scourge's. Scourge is, I assume, the antagonist or the main villain of the movie, or at least the main Decepticon villain of the movie. And Battletrap is like right hand man, a henchman. I don't know. So yeah, that's all I know about him. But overall, yeah, and much different from his original debut, Battletrap, the original Battletrap. So yeah, and unlike the original Battletrap, which was even not even bringing the duocon thing, that was more of a um like a truck, SUV sort of thing. He is a tow truck, and I love the idea of the tow truck. I just anything that comes to construction when it comes to Transformers, I love it. Anything that is heavy machinery, I love it. Like I love Thrilling 30 Scoop. I love um all the gigantic toys from Cybertron. I love basically anything that is construction based. I think they're very cool. And tow trucks, not really construction, but they fall under that list. So yeah, and I love the idea of him. I love that he's supposed to be like an apocalyptic, Mad Max style truck, and if you've seen the new leader class Scourge for Rise of the Beasts, he is very apocalyptic. A lot of spikes, a lot of stuff like that, a lot of chains. Unfortunately, I'm gonna take his mace off really quick. Unfortunately, Battletrap doesn't have too much of that. He really has these spikes, which are, I think, like his knees in robot mode, and this exposed engine and this big bull bar. That's really it for the aesthetic that he's going for. Now, the robot mode is the complete opposite of this, but the one like biggest like thing that needs to be part of that aesthetic is the vehicle mode, I would say. And it just drops the ball for me personally. And the proportions. I still really like this guy, but there's a few things that keep me from really liking him and thinking he's good. The proportions I don't like. He's too wide and too short. He's too wide this way, and he's too short this way. I don't like the fact that the hands are there. I personally think they most definitely could have made them swing in, like put a hinge right there and had them swing in, but I guarantee someone would have complained about hollowness right there. Um, so yeah, and then the hook, the tow hook, is pitiful. Hardly even looks like a hook. You can see these two pieces, they look somewhat like a hook, and it moves like that. It hardly wants to stay together. There's a tiny little tapered peg. I'll show that off when we start to get into the transformation with him. But overall, I wanted to like this. I really wanted to like this. Um, but I still do like it, and I'll talk a bit more about that when I get into the robot mode and like further into it, but the vehicle mode just isn't the greatest. So yeah. So that's really all I have to say about the vehicle mode right now. Oh, side tangent, not really. I got Scrap Hook like a day after I got him. Yeah, my Scrap Hook came super slow. But I like to give Scrap Hook this mace. That is for him. I personally like him having this. And what I like to do, so he at least has some sort of accessories, I take the big exhaust pipes from Scrap Hook, and these little tabs, they connect the arms to the chest, or this part which is going to become the chest, and I like to put them like that. like big exhaust, like you can move them up like that. Obviously, it's going to be a little offset, but just to give him, just for something to look at, like if you wanted to do that like that, I don't know, or even do that with that second peg, just something to do with him, just something uh, that gives me something to do and look at with the vehicle mode. Uh, and I personally just like scrap hook holding this better, but whatever. I just personally like to do that and give this to scrap hook. So let's get into the transformation. So we're gonna first start by probably the worst part of the, not the worst part of this transformation, but the most disappointing part of the transformation is this. It disconnects super easily, not really when he's fully together, like transformed, but when you are transforming him into this, it is much harder to put him into vehicle mode than taking him from vehicle mode to robot mode. To put it into perspective how difficult it is, to transform him from first time doing it, taking him from robot mode to vehicle mode, I can do it fairly well now, really well now because I figured it out. But you know, I've been in the franchise, experiencing it. I haven't really been collecting for all that long, like full on collecting, but I've experienced a lot of different transformations just by playing with them and being around Transformers for a very long time. Wouldn't call myself a veteran yet, but I'd say I'm pretty close. But I first started out trying to transform him by myself, really close, but I couldn't get it. Didn't understand it. I felt like this whole assembly was gonna break. Got out the instructions, still couldn't figure it out. The instructions are crap, just straight up crap. So I had to get on YouTube and I watched MGo's JTI video on this guy, and I finally got it. So yeah, far from a great transformation, but far from horrible. But enough of that. So we're just gonna disconnect those. Talk a little bit about the tab, a bit more when all this stuff gets moved out of the way. Now we're going to come up here. This whole assembly, you can see, is probably the most sketchiest part. You're going to disconnect it, and you're just going to, I don't know, just rip it forward. When I first tried to transform this, and I was trying to figure out how to push it down, I literally saw a piece of yellow plastic shoot off. So you're going to want to push sort of like that. You're going to have, there's a square end, those two square sections, you're going to want to make sure those are fully seated in like that, and then you can push it back like that. So yeah. So you're just going to shift that forward. I just like to, I don't know, get it out of the way. Then you're going to swing these out. And it is more of a pain putting them in because there's hardly any clearance in there. So yeah, just wiggle these out like so. And now, before we get into that, we're going to start with the legs, finish them off. I like to bring them out. And then these little yellow pieces, they're going to swing around like so. Then this is very stiff. You can already see how big that tab is. So I just like to slide them apart and not pull them apart. Clip those together. Then you'll swing this in, swing that in. Bring the feet up like so. And now I'm going to spin the waist around. I'm going to raise this up. And now you're going to want to bring the head down and open it. There's this little slot and a little tab. Those are going to go together. Now you're going to bring this down and then this down. And now you can see that square hole, and it's going to go over that. And when you're going to take him into vehicle mode, you can't just rip it off. Like this one a little bit, but it's mainly this one. You can't just do that. You'll probably rip it off. You have to, because there's an itty bitty little step in it that it clips into. Then you're going to swing these little pieces up, swing the shoulder pad up, pads up, straighten those, bring the head up, and it'll just tab and basically locate itself. And then you'll bring these around to the under of his forearms, bring this down. Then this is another thing, there's so little clearance for this to swing around and stuff. Just annoying. And then I forget this all the time, but you're going to want to disconnect these. And I think they just swing in and under like that, but overall I just forget about it, so it's hardly even a transformation step for me. But yeah, here is Battletrap. And I adore the robot mode. I absolutely love it. I love the look of it. And this was what made me excited for this toy. And I just love it. I love the fact that he's, I don't know, just he looks so cool, and he's big. Not mass-wise, but he's tall. I have Scattershot, Cybertron Scattershot, and yeah, this is like a I don't know, like an 18-year difference, I think, or something. So still, by today's standards, he is big for a Voyager. So not big by what I think is big, basically, but whatever, doesn't matter. So yeah, I love the look of him, and obviously, and this mace works exactly like Bulkhead's, just slides over his hand, like so. So yeah, and I just do that with Scrap Hook, and I'll show you what I do with the exhaust pipes for him. So I like to swing these down, and these are smaller than 5mm. Disappointing, because then you can't attach this in there, too small. You can't attach anything on that, too small. But I like to do this. I like to go to this square-ish hole, and then put them on like that or something. I can't remember how I put it, but like that, just to add some sort of, so these can store, so I can couple these with him and give this to Scrap Hook, and then, they're not just, he's not just being a parts former, he can still put them on the side. He can't hold them. You can't hold them like that, or they don't peg anywhere, obviously, and, you could set them in there, but, that's what I did to, do that with, but, I wish these had more function with this, the mace, because the artwork on the front shows him like flailing this around, and they could have made some sort of feature for this to plug on, like, because it's supposed to plug in like so to keep, well, that could work a little, but I don't know, just disappointing. This whole figure, I don't hate it, but I like it, but I'm willing to admit that it's not the greatest, but I still like it, but it is a supreme disappointment. But I love the robot mode. I love everything about the robot mode. I love his face. Can't really see the red in his eyes. Kinda, not really, but just looks very, very nice. Just, I wish he was better. I like him, but he's not that good. They should have made a better transformation. I can see so many different ways that he didn't have to transform like this. He could have done something similar to like Scrap Hook. He didn't have to be so complex. And it's not the complex that is rewarding or makes sense like Studio Series Sludge. He is dumb style of aggravating, hard complex. Like, you can't, it just isn't conducive to being, it's not conducive to existing. if I can't figure it out with the instructions or let alone by myself, I could figure out. I think I could figure out Kingdom Tracks, and it has by myself with no instructions, and it had a very weird and different transformation. But yeah, still, uh, I don't know. It's just a big disappointment. I wish he was just a little bit better. I love his articulation. He has very good articulation. Just more options with this. You can't do much with him just posing with just this on his fist. You know, you can't like get him into anything super cool because he can't like flail it around or anything. Just I don't know. Just there's so many things that got fumbled with this toy. Just not much play value, not much usability with the mace, not a very good transformation, not the best vehicle mode. I don't like complaining about the vehicle mode, but this is his first toy. It should have been good, and it wasn't hard, or it shouldn't have been hard to make him. Um, I don't know, just big disappointment, but I don't know. Still like it. Still not horrible, but just a little disappointing. So that's really all I have to say. So till next time, see ya.